All right, everyone. You remember the drug war roaring into shape in the 90s? Technically, it begins in the 70s, exacerbated in the 80s, continues through the 90s and 2000s with great vigor, increasing the whole time. And lately, it's like a blimp that was quickly rising into the sky and then somebody hit it with a rocket launcher. Now it's faltering. It's slowly, it's losing altitude, I think. Newt Gingrich. And when I saw this headline, I laughed my ass off. Newt fucking Gingrich, the premier yesteryear conservative, longtime frequent fixture in Congress, longtime frequent drug warrior, actually, in some respects, although not as vicious as some of them, ironically enough. Newt fucking Gingrich himself is now saying that we should be investing into using ibogaine, Iboga, basically, extract for troops with PTSD. And he's got an op-ed here saying, look, there was a 90% reduction in symptoms over the course of this treatment in a lot of these cases. This is an effective medicine for post-traumatic stress disorder. Newt, thank you for finally coming around because us psychonauts have been saying things about that for a long time. You have so many therapeutic benefits for so many mind-altering substances that are highly illegal in the United States. CBD, Trump, and we'll be talking about this in today's live stream. Trump came out a few days ago and said, well, I think that CBD is great for all sorts of ailments. It should be used more frequently. And, the marijuana stock shot like a rocket after he made those statements because he's not really a drug on marijuana. Trump's not a drug warrior. He seems not to really care. He's been for medical marijuana since the 90s. It's basically the same thing. When I was in Europe, you get CBD all over the place. Yeah, it's legal everywhere. And I had used a CBD cream for my feet for a while just because, walking around on cobblestone and shit is not what I'm used to. My feet aren't used to it. They're used to like dirt paths and hiking. So my feet were hurting. They're like, I might as well try it. It worked, at least in my case. Also smelled really good. It was some UK import, actually. Although I think the Netherlands produces it too. Of course, everything weed related is legal there. Which is why fewer people use it, methinks. It's very, very odd. You go to a place where it's illegal, you smell it more often than a place where it's legal. I think that's because of the rebellious kids. Iboga only scratches the surface. But he's pointing to studies, and in many cases, these studies, by the way, aren't from the United States because U.S. labs and doctors aren't generally allowed to even experiment with these things. We know that there are therapeutic benefits to Iboga, and yes, PTSD is one of them. Gingrich is fundamentally correct. Ayahuasca, or purified DMT, whichever one. It has therapeutic benefits. Both of these are associated with addiction reduction. That is, that a person who's withdrawing from other drugs, they have sort of a moment, because these are extremely powerful hallucinogens, it puts them inside of their mind and it allows them to evaluate their life and it makes them make more meaningful decisions in some cases. It doesn't always help with everything. It can help with anxiety and confusion and depression and things like that as well. LSD has been studied for these purposes. Not really in the US. I think there's only one doctor in the US who's able to actually experiment with it, if I remember correctly. Psilocybin. It's been tested. It's been shown effective for certain mental ailments, especially anxiety and depression. I myself am not a psilocybin fan, but it works for some people. Marijuana. Marijuana has health benefits. It can reduce pain. Instead of giving him a couple shots of brandy before surgery, you get him loaded on weed. Yeah, they won't feel a thing. They won't care. They're like, oh, is that my leg that you just took off? Haha, that's pretty cool, man. Can I stuff some weed in it and smoke my own bones? That's basically, weed is the gateway drug to eating too many Twinkies. In my case, it would be a gateway drug to eating too much really, really good Greek pasta salad, but we'll get past that. So all of these drugs, mind altering for a reason. Some people abuse them and they screw their mind up. Other people can gain health from it. They can actually improve their mental condition by using it. We're living in a timeline where Newt Gingrich is supporting the concept of giving what is effectively a top-class substance to soldiers with PTSD based on studies showing that it is remarkably effective. I happen to agree with this. I would go beyond that and just say people should be able to buy Iboga in the gas station. I really do not care. As long as they're not driving under the influence or it's an aggravating factor in some assault that they've done, I don't care. There was a meme I reposted the other day, and it's like, drugs should be banned. Oh, well, drugs cause violence. And the person smoking the joint is like, but I don't cause violence. He's like, welcome to the gun debate. It's exactly the same thing. This is, by the way, the tack that people on the right really need to take up. Guns don't kill people. People kill people with guns. Drugs don't kill people. People become violent sometimes on drugs, and then you take care of it when they become violent. But it wasn't usually the drug that caused the violence. It was just a complicating factor. That's like saying, well, yeah, I'm sorry, Your Honor. My defense is, yeah, I killed three people, but I was drunk at the time. I didn't know what I was doing. Well, sorry, but, that's not really an excuse. The same would be true with any other substance. If you want to use marijuana when you're sitting in your backyard in the sun, nobody cares. I certainly don't give a fuck. And no, I don't care about when people say, well, the smell is bad. People are allowed to smoke in public. People are allowed to reek of alcohol in public. People are allowed to smell like all those shitty colognes and sprays that people put on in public. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it when grandma decides to douse herself with the entire bottle of perfume. It's not illegal. So spare me the must smell bullshit argument. If you're just using it for your own use, it should be legal. If you're getting behind the wheels of a vehicle, something like that, that's a little bit different. DUI and things like that, of course, would still apply. This is a good move. And to see Newt Gingrich, by the way, of all people, supporting it, I laughed so hard. Newt Gingrich, anti-drug war. Not really. I mean, this is only situational, but as a therapeutic method, it has shown great promise. It's already used in other countries. It's been used effectively by other countries for some time for various things. So is psilocybin. So has marijuana, CBD extracts, which aren't even, by the way, psychotropic in nature. It's just an extract from marijuana. You're not going to get high off that shit. They've got like CBD gummies and stuff. That's a THC generally that's going to get you high. Most people that don't understand anything about it, they didn't use Arrowhead back in the 2000s or the 2010s. They don't know anything about these things. I should probably check up on it and see what brand new plants are listed on there, actually, because it's been a hot minute before I visited Arrowhead, because I don't really do that stuff anymore. I'm no longer consider myself a psychonaut. I had my time with psychotropics when I was Botany 101. Great time, gleaned a lot of spiritual insight. I like to think that it improved my mental health overall. Maybe not the JWHO teen overdose, which is ironic because that research chem was legal at the time. Very interesting now, isn't it? The fact is, though, Iboga is medically relevant. Just like kratom. It's like they're trying to crack down on that. Kratom is not something that you should just start using to get high. But if you are on opioids, it can help to reduce the symptoms of withdrawal much better and more in a much more healthy manner, by the way, than methadone, which again is legal to dispense, but kratom somehow in some states isn't. And it's absolutely ridiculous. I've known people who have been helped with addiction by kratom. I've known people that were helped from with Iboga, actually. Several people. One of them was a military veteran with PTSD. And he took Iboga, and after a while, his symptoms began to wane. Of course, I've got my totally non-psychedelic mushroom extracts. Those are neuroregenerative too. Herbs and fungi and things like that. All of these substances that can be gleaned from them, whether it's organic or inorganic in nature, it depends on whether that matters or not. It depends on the substance, I suppose. They have shown great promise in alleviating symptoms in humans. The reason why there's so much pushback is from the pharma corporations. If they can't patent Iboga, if it becomes legal, and people can obtain it themselves, maybe even grow the fucking plant in a greenhouse and extract it themselves, they don't make money. That's the whole reason for the drug war. Why do you think that all of a sudden marijuana is now being legalized in more and more places and hemp virtually everywhere? Because now it's a cash crop for the United States and it brings a lot of tax money in. So now it's okay. It's on the same order as cigarettes or alcohol because we were already juggernauts very, very early on in our country's history with regards to whiskey, beer, and wine. And definitely with regards to tobacco, we were supplying most of the world actually at one time. Still are in many parts of the world. American cigarettes are king, of course. We've just got a chunk of land that happens to have just the right climate and just the right soil structure, and it just sort of works. That's why marijuana is becoming more legal. This, though, would not be a cash crop. This would be more, hey, we've got all these people that have severe anxiety because they saw their buddy blown up next to them and they had to sleep in a foxhole covered in intestines pretending to be dead so the enemy wouldn't stab him in the neck. Yeah, that might fuck you up a little bit. So thanks, Newt. I mean, better late than never. Newt Gingrich makes more sense than some of the Democrats on this particular issue. That's about all. Peace out.